I'm taking myself off of mute now because I don't know what is going on. I might be in the wrong one. Potentially, I can't be in the wrong one because this is the only one that's here. So there it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Okay. We were running smooth sailing, except for I was on mute, you guys, on the very first one. So I think that we're back on track. We're off of mute. I just looked. I'm not talking to myself. I'm on the chat. You guys are saying that there's no sound, and that's because I was trying to figure things out. But I think we're okay now. I think we're okay. So I couldn't see myself on the phone. And so that made me think, well, I'm not going to start again and then redo everything. So yeah. So what happened, you guys, if you didn't catch what was happening, on the very first one, it was on mute. And just as Carissa called me to tell me that, which I appreciate, it popped up on my tablet. I went to hit unmute. It answered her phone call, kicked me out of Switcher Studio, and then I had to delete that video and recreate a new one. And then the only thing that's wrong now are the links, you guys. So all the emails that you got this morning that said, this is the link for the class, the website that has the link, that's wrong. I was able to go in and update quickly the Facebook posts in case anybody's clicking from there. So I just got a little bit of back end dirty work now to catch up on. So it's all good. It's all good. So we're here. Yay. Thank you. What I was trying to tell you guys on the very first live was that I appreciated the you guys being okay with it being pushed out a couple hours. It allowed me to get my sweet class designed for the botanical textures, I think is what we're doing for May. And so I was able to get that done, and I was going to share those with you before we start class. So yes, you should be able to hear me now. I'm technically off of mute, which is an important thing. So my fault that I had me on mute. That has happened starting in December. That's happened at least 5 times. I get excited and start talking and forget to take myself off of mute. So hi, Linda Krause. Hi, Judy Sharp. There's Pat Settle and Debbie Gast. Can you hear me now? Hello. Can you hear me now, right? Hi, Randy. Hi, Kelly. There's Mary Lemke again. Hi, Connie and Deb Norman. Hi, Sarah Mitchell. Hi, Amy Langlois. Hi, Sue Deppis. There's Judy Bell from Ontario. Hi, Pat Smothers. What else is there to say? Hello, all. Yes, happy Monday. There's Jamie. Hi, Julie Block from Oostburg, Wisconsin. And Carmen Sanders is here. Hello, hello. The kittens are about as well. Honey's making her way over here right now. She wanted to play mousy with me, but instead she's probably going to start causing disruption because that's what this little girl does. Hi, Kelly Sheridan. Hi, Connie Moore. Hi, Karen Wetstein. I'm watching to make sure she doesn't start digging in things. That's what she does. Hi, Jean Shoot. Hi, Elaine Rebeck. Good now as well. Oh, there you might see her. There she goes, Miss Honey walking away from me. She's like, Mom, you're ignoring me. Hi, Barbara Gavi. Hi, Rosie Prouty. There's Sherry Johnson and Donna Gruski. Hi, Doris Munson. And Margina is here from Wyoming. So good news is for those that are participating in the Radically Retro Swap Party, I believe all your cards went off in the mail on Saturday. Between Friday and Saturday, we got them off. I'm trying to think. There's none on the counter. Oh, except for Ellen Brover. Ellen Brover, we're working on some designer series paper that you wanted, and I was holding your package until we can figure that out. So other than that, my dad walked in here this morning and he said, wow, it's the cleanest it's been in here in a long time. And that's because normally when he stops in, I think the countertops are completely filled to the gills with everything. So yes. All right. I'm going to do roll call. I have the book in front of me, and I thought I'll do that first. At the moment, I do not believe that we have any kits left. I need to consult with Diane first before I can say that. We have 8 of them that we're holding for class tomorrow night for in-person, and I don't know if she needs them all. So if she doesn't, I might have a kit or 2 left. And if she does need them all and more, then we're going to have to kit up more. But at the moment, I think that my spots are all filled. And that's good. It's nice to be out of a class, right? Mom would say, clean them up, move them out. So I'm going to go through roll call. Thank you to everybody who signed up to take this class with me. I really appreciate your support of my small business. I like to do roll call for a couple reasons. One, well, this one's kind of important because if I forgot to say your name or I missed saying your name, we got to figure out why. Sometimes it's you think you signed up and you didn't, and sometimes you signed up and I didn't write you down. So either way, we always make it right. So you don't have to worry. Even though we're tight on card kits, you don't have to worry. We always make it right. And I also like to say thank you to everybody who signed up to take this class. Because of you, I'm doing this class in front of a lot of people because you decided to take kits with me or get the kits with me, and I appreciate that. You keep us hopping. So first on our list is Annette Rollin, and then Julie Bierschbach, Frances Rodriguez, Deb Norman, Kelly Gibson, Sue Esworthy, Julie Bontranger, Becky Gandolfo, Sandy Coy Emery. Hello, Doc Gardner, not on the list, but saying hello before all the people start saying that they're here. Hi, Faye, hello, Polly Libby as well. All right, next on our list is Faye Godby, Mary Lemke, Jean Terwilliger, Kimberly Kronauer, Donna Grushke, Karen Woods, Jenny Knutson, Rose Garibaldi, Leslie McMinn, Nedra Dover, Maria Gilbertson, Doris Munson, Pat Smothers, Patty Randolph, Vera Anderson, Kathleen Ketterman, Feline Mays, Debbie Stone, Linda Scott, Angelique McClendon, Connie Moore, Susan Bellamy, Phyllis Oderman, Barbara Godby, Jeannie Parker, Sherry Everett, Joanne Naples, Sherry Stewart, Karen Wetstein, Laura Sullivan, Lynn Beasley, Lisa LaFramboise, Patty Wright, Jean Shute, Lori Baxter, Vicki Rodriguez, Carmen Sanders, Susan Wormley, Sarah Merchant, and Pat Shee Bischoff. So Pat, if you are watching, just know I saw your text message. I have not responded to it, but I did read it, and I did catch that you wanted this class for your order that you placed on the 7th. And as of right now, you got the last kit. So, whew, I'm glad I checked that text message. So everybody who I've said their name, then you would have been included in the PDF tutorial. I did send it out at about 10 o'clock this morning. So in case you're missing the PDF tutorial, please make sure to check your spam folder and also to check your inbox because it did go out a little bit later. We got it in last night and we got it proofread this morning, and it just takes a little bit to get all the tutorials written in a monthly basis. You guys, there's so many tutorials all the time. So we try to keep up with them as best we can. And we had Easter in there yesterday. So between Jolene having Easter on Saturday and me having Easter yesterday, it just took a little bit extra time to get the tutorial to you. So woohoo. And yes, Donna Grushke. And I was just going to say that, you guys. So it has happened in the past that you get a commercial and it cuts your name off because maybe it said right at that time. So Donna Grushke, your name was on the list, and you would know that your name is on the list if you got kits from me, right? So if you got kits, your name is on the list. There's no way I would send you kits if your name was not written in this book, okay? Because I use this book and I use my spreadsheet in Google that Carissa helped me develop to mail out your kits. So that would be two different stop gates. Did you get the PDF tutorial? Your name's on the list. Did you get your kits? Your name's on the list. And the other thing you can do, if you did get a commercial and it puts you behind on the video, you can always back it up a little bit there's a little red line at the bottom here. So you can always back it up and just be back 10 seconds or so that you don't miss out on it. You know, just another way that you can. Now I got to see how I can get that back. Okay. And let's do that like that. Okay, so now I'm back on track. Okay, and I need comments. Okay, so a couple different ways that you can figure it out. Because I had class last week as well, and people were saying, did you say my name? I had a commercial. It just helps if you know you got the PDF, and if you know you got the card kits, your name is on the list. And so I definitely did say it. So hello, Mary Carls. Yeah, Pat Settle, I'm pretty sure I said your name. So I'm without looking back through everything. Oh man. So it's hard because we're not in alphabetical order. So I'll double check, Pat, when we get done with class, because I'm going to keep rolling here, but I will double check, Pat, to see if your name was on the list. It's hard because you spot check over everything and then it's like you just go right over the name. So hi, Deanne Dawn. All right. So I'm just seeing if I missed any other comments. It is very windy. So Mary Carl said, hello from windy Jericho. We are about 20 minutes or so from Mary, maybe 30 minutes from Mary. And it is windy. The leaves are all swaying back and forth and you can hear the wind. We had some thunderstorms and we had lots of rain last night. So we have our April showers are hopefully going to bring our May flowers. That is what we're hoping for. So I wanted to share with you guys some Happy Mail and what's coming up. So this is what I was working on and why we were a little bit tardy. Hi Nancy Mole. We were originally going to have class at 1 today. I pushed it to 3. So when you get started on something, you just want to keep working on it. And I knew that if I had a class at 1 and it went till 3, I have that hour and a half in between now and mystery card night. It would have been hard to come back and finish. Hi Shariat. So I'm very happy and I appreciate you guys being okay with the class time adjusting. So in May, the suite is called Natural Botanicals, I think. And so this is called Variation on a Theme. We went with cards that are similar but different in using that Woven Textures Designer Series paper. And so we got to really utilize and show off some of the different patterns from that pack, which is super cool. A great way to use the designer paper, every one of these pieces is a 3x4. So this starts off as a 3x4 DSP, that starts as a 3x4, that starts as a 3x4, and this is a 3x4. So what's really cool is that we get, basically, when you do a 3x4 designer paper, you get 12 up out of a pack, which is exactly what we were going for. And so we got to pull in some of the beautiful motifs in here, very earthy, manly-er colors, I guess, manly-esque colors, so that if you wanted to make these into man birthday cards, man thinking of you, man get well, or you know, whatever. They have a little bit of foliage on, so you could have them a little bit feminine as well. But I tried to go with more of neutral undertones to go with the whole designer series paper that goes with it. And I think that's the only one I don't have an inside ready to go. I didn't get the undersides done, but I did definitely get the gems on as well. So a couple of more thank you. We did pull in the sunset sailing or sunrise sailing, which has the best wishes, and made that one into a retirement card. And then Sunday warm wishes. So yay. Okay, so that's the May. So again, if you guys are liking it, make sure you add it to your list before you send your collective list to the enroll. And then for the catalog launch party. Hi Sherry Martin. Nancy Haggard sent me this card and I was inspired by it, and I used it to case for the catalog launch party class, which I have 1 of 5. The catalog launch party is going to feature the 5 new ink colors. So one of each of the bases is going to be the new ink color. So this one features the Secret Sea, and we've got Celebrate on this one. But you can see how I got the idea of the arch and the 3 strips of designer paper, and that I just added a couple little elements to it to make it my own. And I've got 1 of the 5 done. So after I'm done with this class with you guys, I'm going to go back upstairs and finish the other 4. Everything's cut and prepped for them. They just need to get assembled. So by the time I'm live with you for Mystery Card Night, I'll be able to share those. And these, I still need to get the gems on. But yay. So we're making progress. And that leaves 2 classes. One is the monthly class, which one of the cards is done. I worked on it last night, and it's going to feature the sunrise sailing or sunset sailing. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the sunset one with the boat. And there's going to be 2 other cards. So we got a manly card in there. Yay. Because I'll tell you, Stampin' Up! Really made it difficult for us with the launch of the new annual catalog and the new online exclusives, is that they went overboard on flowers. I have to say that everything was flowers. It seemed that there were only 2 sets in there that were maybe not florally, and it was the sunrise sailing, the sailboat one, and there's one called Scenic Adventures. But the designer series paper, they didn't have, it was a lot of his flowers. So if you guys notice, the Stampin' Fun in the Sun was very florally, and the catalog launch party is going to be florally, and finally the May Sweet class is going to be more of the earth tone colors. And then I've got the sailboat card for the monthly. I got to figure out what else I'm going to use for the monthly class. But yeah, trying to get you guys some non-girly girl cards for the manly men in your life. So hello, Kari Dwyer. Okay, so I want to share with you what we're going to be working on today. I have 2 Happy Mails as well. So this came to me, I got it today from Bonnie Lesperance. She gave me an Easter card. You guys, this is a really great layout. Look at that. And when you open it up, it's got inside that has the Easter Bunny, and she's got a cross here on the front that was super cool. So this part folds back, right? And then she just added a strip across here, which made it look like that, which is super cool. And then I got this in the mail. You guys, I have no idea who it's from. if you sent this, I don't know if you intended for me to know it was from you or not, but, and they used a label, so I can't really even tell writing. And when you open it up, it's a really cool fun fold, but it's not signed, right? So I'm not quite certain who sent it, but it's super cool. And it reminds me of Chris Dudarenki did a creative presentation during the Escape in January, and it was doing a tube card. And so that's super cool. So it's just another idea. At some point, we're going to have to throw this one into the fun fold mix. So, yes. So that's some Happy Mail. If you sent this to me and you want me to know that, you let me know. Otherwise, I won't know. Hi, Pat Shebishaw from Staten Island. And the other thing that's left then after the monthly class, which we'll get that one done tomorrow, is the fun folds. There is another fun folds, and it's coming to you in May. And it's a fun fold Stampa stack that Angelique is helping me design. And it's going to be 6 cards featuring the Bloom Impressions sale-a-bration paper. So the Stampa stack is going to come with a full pack of the designer series paper, and it'll come with ribbon and gems. And I just need to sit down and crunch out how it's going to work. If we're going to do 2 cards times 6, 3 cards times 6, or 6 cards times 6. I got to do the math because it just depends. I think we could do 4 cards of 5 of them and 2 cards of the last one, which would be 22 cards, only if you guys are up for a little challenge of scoring and cutting your card bases and cutting your own mats. Meaning you would get full-size sheets of cardstock, which I've never really done that before. So it's putting a lot of work back on you guys, but I have heard in the past you wouldn't mind extra work cutting and scoring. We're in a crunch because we're technically kitting next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly Thursday morning if we need to, and then shipping the following week. And we have 6 classes we're all working on helping get prepped and kitted for you guys. And this fun fold, it's amazing fun folds. And we could offer more in the Stampa stack if you guys were up for cutting your base, scoring and cutting your bases and your mats, your big mats. What we would do is include a full sheet of cardstock as necessary for each card, and you would do that. So if you guys are good with that, I might opt to go for 4. And if you're not good with that and you want the scoring and the cutting done, I might opt for 2. And the cost will just vary depending on what we all end up including in the kits. So you'll just have to let me know. Well, I guess I was wrong. No kit in the box and was mailed to me. Bummer, but I sent. So Pat Settle, I wrote your name down. So you're definitely, at first glance, I didn't see your name, but I wrote your name in the spot, okay? So don't stress, don't fret, don't think anything negatively, just calm, and we'll figure it out, okay? So I will double check with Carissa to see if, just see the email and to check if you've paid for it. And if you've paid for it, you'll get the kit, right? So I'm not worried about it. So we definitely will make it right. And there's somehow something along the way would have gotten missed, but we got it. So you guys, if you guys tell me you can cut and score the cardstock, then I think what I'm going to opt to do is give you guys, so how it works is if we do quantities of 4, a lot of them have quarter sheets for their backgrounds. And what I could do is give you 1 full sheet of, let's say, Blackberry Bliss, and you guys would cut it at 5.5 and then 4 1/4, and that gives you your 4 backgrounds. And then you need to cut a mat, and I'd give you a full sheet of white or whatever it is, right? So anything that's a bigger size, that is a true mat or a base, I would give you guys the full sheets. And I think doing quantities of 4 is what I'm leaning towards. I also just need to check with Diane because she would have a lot of that to do with in person, but she could always prep that ahead of time for people in person. But I think that you guys are the bulk of the class takers. And if you're willing to do that at home, I think that we've got a deal. So I don't mind scoring or cutting. Okay, perfect. So I know only like 3 or 4 of you have given me your input. And if you're seeing more people saying they don't mind, but you do mind, and it is harder for you to do that, I do value your input too, and you should let me know, just so I know, right? The only thing is, then if we end up doing the cutting and scoring on our end, we might keep it at 2 times 6 cards, which is still 12, and we've done Stamp-A-Stacks with 12 cards before, right? So I'm just trying to think of the best and most efficient way to do it. So, and Judy Sharp and Barbara said you guys can cut and score. Okay, cool. So keep on that, keep sending me that feedback. I'm not going to comment to all of them, but as I see that coming in from a lot of people, I'll take it as that's probably the route I might go. So I'm going to flip this down, and I'm going to share with you what we're working on today. We're going to be doing Let's Just Stamp. So I will be honest with you, Let's Just Stamp is geared towards beginners, but all are welcome. But we don't generally do die cutting so much, and we generally don't do embossing, but we have been doing a lot of embossing more so over the last year. And in this class, it was so hard not to die cut their wings for you guys. So we do have some die cutting, and it was so hard not to include the hexagon in here because, oh man, these cards are so cute with the hexagons. So the bundle itself was launched in the... Where was it launched? It was an online exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. Right here, yep. No, it was launched in the scrapbooking brochure. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. But the Meant to Be bundle is what we're working with today. So I've got these amazing hexagon dies. And then there's a stamp set that goes with it called Meant to Be. Okay, so that is what's in the scrapbooking brochure. They're doing away with the scrapbooking brochure and pulling everything into one annual catalog. And Pat said she can cut and score too. Donna says, I'm good at cutting and scoring. Perfect. Okay. I don't mind. I'm good with cutting. Perfect. Miracle, we can do that. Slow down. We can do it. You slow down less. Yeah, right. So, I will. Okay. So, just a preface out there. If I give you guys full sheets of cardstock, I will also cut them with you. Now, you'll get the tutorial ahead of time, so you guys could potentially do all your cutting and scoring ahead of time. But for the actual YouTube class, I will score and cut as if like starting from scratch. So I wouldn't leave anybody in the dust, I promise. So, well, maybe you might feel like I'm leaving you in the dust, but I don't mean to. So, okay. So there is a complimentary set to Meant to Be. It is called Be My Valentine. Now, with the Meant to Be, there are dies. With the Be My Valentine, there was a punch. And that punch was put on the sale-a-bration offering back in February. So you could have gotten the punch to pick up with your stamp set. I also pulled in Hugs for Love and Keeping Tabs for some sentiments. So in the Beekeeper's Guide, we've got page 21 is where you can find the bundle. Just a reminder, you guys, this Beekeeper's Guide that's in the folder is going to be current. Version 1 is going to be current through sometime through the middle of May. I've got an aggressive goal for Kelly to have the new version ready by May 12th so that I can get it out to you guys right before I leave for Disney. So for that trip that I'm going on. All right, so we do have a little scoring for you guys on this one though. So there's a little scoring on here that you can opt to do or not do. And I just wanted to remind you guys too, the Share, Create, Inspire is out there. I like to set this in front of me just to remind you that you guys can go watch Share, Create, Inspire. And Anna Rebadou shared her card, and she shared a different version. So you guys can still get in on the drawing for that to enter your cards. And last week, you guys, just a reminder, we did the April monthly cards. And I still have kits left for this one, in case you're wondering. And I do not... quote, do not have any more thoughtful wishes, memories, and more. We did that class Friday afternoon, and I had 4 left, or I'm making 4 more, and the 4th one is already gone as of yesterday. So I'm going to be good, I think, on that one, unless maybe I get 4 more people that say they want it, but they'd have to let me know between now and tonight, because I plan to prep the 4 more tonight so that they're ready for tomorrow. So yeah, all right, that's how that goes. And in case anybody's wondering, that thoughtful wishes was the 18 cards, and you guys have been sending me pictures of your completed cards, which is super cool. I love seeing what you're doing with them. And Deanne doesn't mind doing the cutting and scoring also. Okay, perfect. So we'll start with this one. And the thing is, there's a lot of yellow in these cards. So the card that I just opened up, underneath my golden ticket, that first card that I picked is the one that I think I'm going to start with. So the class is called Meant to Be. Today's date is 4/21. And so you guys can find that later if you need any help. Don't lose your little gems. We used the in color gems that are going to be retiring with as soon as they're done. They are on last chance. So you've got double matting for Let's Just Stamp. And you always want to do a little dry fit in case you want to trim anything down. And I think I am going to this time. I want to see just a little bit more of the petunia pop. Depending on how my paper trimmer upstairs cuts, it does cut at a little baby slant. So some of you will probably have perfect mats, and some will probably have a hair where you'd want to trim it. So I just took off a little bit so that I could see a little more purple. So that's your matting for the inside. Let's just take that out. And then the thing how we did this class, just to let you know, this is your big bee. This is Papa Bee. And then this one is the Mama Bee, and that's Baby Bee. And so Papa got put on 2 cards, while Mama and Baby got put on that card. So just so you know, there are 3 different sizes of bees, and each one of the stamp sets is going to have the different stripies. So the Papa and the Baby are in Meant to Be, and the Mama is, and the medium one, it's like the 3 bears, right? Who ate the porridge. So Mama Bee is over here hanging out by herself, taking care of the stamp set, and the Baby and the dad are over here. Okay, so there are 3 sizes in case you guys didn't know that. And I've got all 3 sizes here ready to go on my blocks. Okay, just wanted to, now the wing size though, there's only 2 wing sizes. If I'm, maybe there's 3 wing sizes. I have to think, there's 2 wing sizes because there is not a wing size for with the punch, but in the die set, there are 2 wing sizes. So we used the mom and dad having the bigger wings. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Jenna loves the bees. Yay. Jenna, I didn't mean to not call you back on Saturday. You guys, we have a fellow bee passed away back in the fall of last year, and her husband reached out to me recently and said it was a hard decision to make it, but he said it was time to have her treasures go to somebody else. And so I went with another bee to go pick up. And so Jenna, when you called, I was on the other line with Angelique on my way to Heather's husband's house, and and then it got to be crazy with the rest of the day. So I'm sorry I didn't call you back. I will. We need to chat. But you guys, we're going to have a pop-up sale here in the hive with Heather's things. Her husband said that he wants them to go to Happy Homes. And so the DSP is already cut for you. It's on Petunia Pop. You also have your bee body that is die cut for you, along with your wings. You have some of the in color glimmer paper that is of the Petunia Pop that we added behind our bee. And then you have some of the new white frayed ribbon, it's a 1/4 inch, and I think you have probably 3 inches of it. And then a little sentiment strip here for your sentiment. Neither one of us is very busy at all, right? Ha ha ha, exactly. Not busy at all. So, you guys, I'm going to pull out my scoreboard because there is a little bit of, Jenna, as long as I got you, what I'm trying to do is figure out if you're available on December 13th. I think that's the date. But, so you guys, I take my Silver Elites on a spa day, and I'm trying to get it booked, and just the Jenna, look at your calendar on the 12th. That's what I needed you to do. I take my Silver Elites to the spa, and we get facials and pedicures and massages, and and Jenna is on track, and I'm anticipating she will probably have earned a spot. So Jenna, I wanted to make sure I included you in the booking of it. So yes, please let me know, and that's what I'm, just message me, not through here, but just that's what I'm trying to figure out if December 12th works for you. So you guys, if you can see it on here, and anybody else on my team, I gotta say this. I have 2 Silver Elites on my team that are already Silver Elites, and they're already on the books. Jenna is super close. She is I think you need 3 more people to join your team, and she'll promote to Silver Elite. So she has the sales, and one of the people that would join Sandy Quay Emery's team. So Sandy, we need to work with Sandy to see if she can find a friend or family member that is interested in joining her team. And then when Jenna has 2 more, she'll promote to Silver Elite, which is super cool. I do have 3 other people on my team that are working towards Silver Elite, and they have one of the 3 goals, which is the sales, having a Silver Elite on your team, and having the correct number of people on your team. So there's 3 facets to being Silver Elite. And I can think of those 3 people, and each one of those has one of the 3, but not 2 of the 3 like Jenna has. So I will reach out to them and let them know what and I don't want to leave them out is what I'm getting at. I'll reach out to them and let them know, hey, you're 1 away, and they would just need to also earn it by September 30th, which is the end of the Stampin' Up! Year. So I never like to leave people out, and I don't want to have anybody feel that they're not included. So I just want to, it's out there to anybody on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, that they would be welcomed into the Silver Elite Spa Day is what it is. So, okay, back to your regularly scheduled program, you guys. That was just your public service announcement. So, yes, you need 3 more. Well, you need 2 and Sandy needs 1, and then you got a girlfriend. So this has a scoring around the edge. So you guys just said to me, you guys are good with scoring. So this is exactly why I didn't have me or anybody else on my helper list do this for you. So this is 1/4 of an inch, and this one's 3/8 of an inch. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So yes, 3. So on the sides is 3/8 and 1/4, and then on these long sides it's 3/4. So how do we do this? I love to use the scoreboard, and you don't need to do the back, you only need to do the front, and it's 1/4 inch. So I'm going to do 1/4 inch first here, and then I'm going to do 3/8 of an inch. So these 2. And then this is really hard to get in the corner here, but we have 1/4 inch. Oops, and you got to make sure it doesn't jump the track on you. Okay, so there's 1/4, and then we're going to do 3/8, which is right next to it. Oh man, that was awesome. Mine, when it jumped the track, it went right into the next track and I caught it. All right, so again, on the 5.5 inch side, you want to go in 1/4 and 3/8. Now for this one, on your long side, you're at 4 1/4, so you want to do the score at 4. And I guess what I like to do is I don't like to work in the corner. So nobody puts baby in the corner. So it's at 8.5, so I'm just going to go back 1/4 of an inch. And now I've got my scoring done. So we just put a little scoring frame. Don't forget you can do stuff like this to your card bases, and it zhuzhes them up and gives them a nice little bit of character. All right. So perfect there. Now, burnish your edge here. And now we're ready to go. So what do we need to do for stamping? We have a flower, and that flower comes from the Meant to Be set. So we need old olive. Oh man, that's over here. I had old olive set aside from the monthly class. So we're gonna stamp a flower, and that flower is hanging out right here. So grab the old olive ink. Thanks, Holly. Hello, Holly. All right, so there's our stem and leaves. And that's the only thing that I think that there is an old olive. And then we have the flower head. And I can go right there. And that's in Petunia Pop. I know it's not petunia, it's petunia. I get it. I like to add the ia on the ends of things, you guys. All right, so we can glue a couple things. So let's do this and this, and we'll get these guys squared away. Felt so good to open up that new glue bottle last week because the glue works amazing. And then this is onto, so this is just a 3x4. If you guys might recall, last month for the With You in Mind class, we also used the Cute As Can Be paper. And these are the other 3 sheets that we saved to do with this class. All right, so we can glue this in to our inside. And that goes, so petunia and the daffodil with the old olive look really nice together. All right, so there is that. Perfect. Now we have this piece, which gets popped up with dimensionals. And I like to use 6 on this size of a mat. So I'm going to put a plug out for you, Jenna, since you are so close. I know there's overlap in your community of stampers and my community of stampers. And Jenna has got a goal of Silver Elite, and I think she has her goal as by May. Because if she hits that goal by May, she's eligible to go to Backstage or get registered for Backstage, which is in Las Vegas this year. And I know she would love to do that. And so since we have some extended community, like we have overflow, I know some of the gals who watch you also watch me. And if anybody is looking to join an amazing community, you can join Jenna's team. And when you join Jenna's team, you also join the Be Happy Stampers, and you get the best of both worlds. You're helping achieve a goal for both Jenna and me, because my goal is to also promote to the next level. And when I promote to the next level, so when Jenna promotes, and then I have one more gal on my team who promotes to Silver Elite, then I promote. So it's a win-win for everybody. So if there is anybody out there that would love to join Jenna's team through her and then ultimately the Be Happy Stampers, we'd love for you to reach out to Jenna and let her know, because it's an amazing community of like-minded crafting. I was going to say crazy people. We're not crazy, but if we are, it's in a good way. But we are an amazing community of crafters, and we love to share the love. So you guys, I don't know if you noticed it, but I used my white black pad. So this is my white ink pad that I put Memento in and not white ink. And I'm really letting this marinate on the daffodil. And the great thing about this is if you do get some light discoloration, you could always take a black marker and touch that up. Okay, so this saying here is, hello, Jeannie Parker. This saying here is, you're as sweet as honey. Now, I do have another thing to add to that. So I do know that there are a couple other people on my team that are building their teams and also striving to earn Silver Elite, and they're working at it as well. So if you have an interest, I know a lot of you, and I don't want to sell anybody out or not like mention anybody. I know that Maria Gilbertson and Julie Bierschbach and Gina Bulow are also working towards that goal of Silver Elite. And if you follow them or watch any of their stuff, if you join their teams, then you also become a Be Happy Stamper. So we love to share the love. All right. So that is what I have. I don't have anything else on the inside. So we could go ahead. Oh, we have a face. We have a face. Wait. So in the sets here, there are a couple faces. So you have to just choose your face. So there's that one in that set. And then there are a couple, oh, he looks angry bee. So there are a couple in the set. So figure out which one you like the most and then go with that. So we're going to do that one. And remember, the bee is facing this way. So in some cases, like the next card, they're facing the opposite way. Okay, so I'm going to shut this for the moment, and we'll work on adhering these guys together. So the tear and tape is going to go across the top of the bee here, and that can be used to capture the wings. Right, so attach the wings then. They'll catch that tear and tape where you put it back there. And what you can do, this is great for the small black dimensionals. A little baby black dimensional fits right in between where those two come together. And then you could use, whoa, I just grabbed all of those at once, but you could use black dimensionals for this guy. You're also going to need to use another piece of tape. Oh man, it's stuck. Another piece of tear and tape. And it's going to go along the back left side. And you need one more piece here waiting in the wings. And this is going to be for your ribbon. So it's underneath this back left area, and I've got a loop and a tail. Now there's plenty of ribbon left over that if you wanted to do another tail, you probably could. And I'm gonna go like that angle. So you have this much that you're cutting off. If you want to salvage that and not throw it away, you could easily add it to the back here and have two little tails coming out. And if you didn't cut it exactly the way I did and you only get one tail, that's fine too. Let's put you there. See, it looks cute like that. Now the banner here, we're going to angle the right side. Whoa, felt like Edward Scissorhands there for a minute. So we're gonna snip off that at an angle. I got black ink somehow. It's on my fingers. We're gonna do a dimensional on that right side, maybe right about there. And then what we'll do is we'll put liquid glue or tear and tape. Yeah, let's use this little guy up. We'll put tear and tape on this side to help hold that down. And this one, the bee, Big Papa Bee, is gonna go with the petunia pop behind it. And I'm not gonna push this side down because I still need to get my white sentiment through there, but for now we're just gonna glue this and then we'll tuck that sentiment in there. All right, so this is over off to the left here. And we've got a little wiggle room on that. So then this guy, so what I did is the edge of the sentiment strip got hidden behind the tail over there and kind of makes it discreet. Fits in there very nicely. That's what we got. That purple petunia glimmer paper really adds to it. I kitted your gems backwards. All right, I did it and I caught it after the fact. This card uses the petunia pop gems and in your kit are the pink gems. So hold tight, don't put any gems on because when we get to one of the next cards, we're gonna just flip the gems around. And what you can do is stella your bees because who doesn't love a stellaed bee? You can even stella little flowers. Flower. All right, so we're gonna hold off on the gems, hold the phone on the gems, and we'll come back to that. So that's the first card. And we'll do, I'm guessing this one is next because this one has pink gems and I'm guessing we will see that one. It's not the next one, but it was the other bottom and it also has this yellow base with some petunia pop. Okay, now on this one we cut off a 1-inch strip off the side, so it made it a little shorter. Yep, and here are purple gems. So let's just take a moment and you should have two small and a big. And they seemed to fit better on this card. And the pink seemed to fit better. And we'll put that guy right there. All right, so the gems are back intact on this one. And back to this guy. So, a little disclaimer. I don't know if you guys know it, but my team name is called the Be Happy Stampers. You probably know that though, because you see it behind me. Thanks to Kathy Jackson from Iola, Wisconsin, who made my sign for me. And they came out with a Hive embossing folder with the Heart and Home collection maybe 3 years ago. 4 at the most. I don't know. The years start to blur together after a little while, but it's called Heart and Home, and it had a honeybee set in it. And there was a Hive 3D embossing folder. And that embossing folder has always stayed in with my current embossing folders, and it'll never leave to go anywhere else because it's great to have it on standby for when we do team tags, excuse me, team tags or team anything that we need to make an awesome thing with, right? So it was right there when we were designing for this class, and I thought, well, there's no way we can't not use this embossing folder. So that is where it comes from. And I know Jolene reached out to me when she was writing the tutorial. She's like, where is the folder from? I'm like, it's an oldie but a goodie, but it's not even really that old. So just so you know, it is retired. And I've gotten to the point in my business where I realized that making a cute card, even though there's a retired embossing folder or ribbon or gem, is not necessarily the worst thing. And if it makes the card be amazing, right? So these cards were even better because we use the Hive embossing folder. So I know some of you may use these cards to do classes with your customers. You may be a demonstrator who cases the cards and you might not have this embossing folder. Well, that's okay. Just pick one out that is different but similar, that also fits the bill and does the work, okay? But it's just the Hive was perfect. And because we provide embossing pieces for you guys, since we're embossing here, it doesn't really matter. It's just if you need to recreate. So those who buy the tutorial and you want to recreate the cards and you don't have the Hive, just find something that is interchangeable and I think you'll be good to go. Okay, so that's a little disclaimer on the Hive emboss. It's super cool, right? You got the hexagons on there going on. All right, so we have a little strip here for the happy birthday. And Jean has the embossing folder, perfect. All right, so when you die cut these hexagons, these guys, it cuts out two things. It cuts out the outline and it cuts out the inside. And with these two cards, with these cards, there's the outlines, so they're the same size hexagon, and we just flip-flopped them. So you got the yellow inside here and the yellow outside there, and the pink, purple outside and inside got interchanged, right? So it's perfect. So with this one, we'll set that there, and you have, look at that, I open these up, and I've got the bigger wings go with the mama bee, and she's facing to the right, and the baby's facing to the left, right? So you just keep those wings in pairs there. And then this is for your inside. I had to think about that because I couldn't see it. And then this piece of designer paper is for your left side. And you have a piece that looks like this. And it should make a square, I think. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not quite. We'll see here. Maybe not a square. Oh, it does make a square. Perfect. So now your white can go either way, right? And this is a little arm that flips like this. And then you have your white on the inside. And then you have some petunia pop ribbon to do a loop loop and a tail down there. And then what you can do is burnish this. And we could get a little glue happy just to get some pieces out of our way. So let's go ahead. Now pick your side. I often would put this side up, but I was told and explained that this is truly the side that how you would see it. So I've been doing it like that ever since. So I always tell people, do whatever you like. You know, if you like the other side, go for the other side. And if you like this side, go with that side. However you want to see it. Whatever makes you happy. Happy, happy. All right, just make sure this is not upside down. This goes straight onto your Daffodil Delight left panel. And then your embossed piece can go right on the inside of the card, like that. And then our arm. So ultimately this is going to get glued like this. So we want to put glue on the back side with your fold on the right. The fold on the right. So what I'm going to do is just set this centered top to bottom, and I'm going to open it up. Make sure I keep it kind of straight. And if you want it up higher, you could always have it up higher and see a little more purple on the bottom, but I'm going to shut it now. And I'm going to make sure that this is straight as can be. And I do have a little bit more purple down here than up here, but that's okay. I don't mind it like that. And then we have the honeycomb here. And we wanted to do something to make it pop, because right now it looks a little boring. So grab your Daffodil Delight or Crushed Curry ink and grab a dauber that is of, so I was going to say of a yellow color, but I grabbed one here. It's cleaned out because we used this last week, but pretty sure it's not going to give me purple. It's going to give me yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow. And I did grab Crushed Curry for my ink, in case you're wondering. Be careful, because this could probably mutilate the tip of your dauber if you go too hard. And all I'm doing is adding a little bit of golden honey look. It's like it's dripping with honey. Honey's not even here for this class. Honey, you should be right by me, being annoying right now. But you're probably off sleeping somewhere. Wait, we're not done with the yellow. On the inside, we've got the honeycomb. And that is from the original set called Be My Valentine. And you could do that in daffodil or curry. So I did it in curry. I probably would choose to do that in daffodil. But let's see if I had, you know what? Daffodil was from the monthly class too. So let me go grab that. And I think what we'll do is we will use the daffodil. So the great thing about this is you have two sides to the paper. I'm going from yellow to yellow. I didn't clean it. Don't tell anybody. I stamped off a lot though. All right, perfect. I like that a little bit better. And on the inside of this, we have lots of hugs and kisses in the white black pad. And that comes from Hearts and Hugs. So we'll do lots of hugs and kisses. It fit in here nice. You could also use whatever sentiment you want that goes with a happy birthday. She was, but you didn't play mousy. I know, right? Oh, the little girl. She's like, Mom, you didn't play mousy enough with me. All right. Then we need to do the happy birthday. And that comes from Keeping Tabs. I have that out right here. Just stamp it closer to the right. Oh, very nice. Okay, and we're not done. We have more. Wait, there's more. Now, so these could go this way or this way, right? Make sure you feel the rough edge is the bottom. And so I've got my baby going this way, Mama bee. Sometimes you have to just do a little trim. That punch sometimes leaves hairs. All right, so you got it. Oh, and so there's a punch. You're not going to have a rolled edge. Now, we have the Mama bee is the middle size of stripes and stinger. It is great because they are photopolymer, so you can kind of see through there. And then I also need the baby. So I'm letting that marinate. And then we'll do the baby. And then for a face, I like the face that you currently see on these cards. Okay, so you guys are going to be able to see what I mean by this one. Did not ink up very good. You can see that little bit of yellow shining through. Let's see what this one did. That one stamped better. It could be because that stamp is really loved. All right, so I'll show you how to, oh, you guys, we got to do one more face. Otherwise our baby is blind. And he's right there. There, he's so cute when you put the face on. It completes him. And in the tutorial, you guys, we talked about how to glue this together. So I want to make sure that my purple is correct, and then I flip this over. And this is, we started doing this with the Wildly Flowering class last year in July. And Jolene uses that same template to show you. You just flip it upside down, and then you're going to glue it back together again. I thought you started at 4 Central, so I'm an hour late, and you'll catch the replay. No problem, Mimi. Mimi, I did reply to your email about the Beekeeper's Guide, so just let me know what you want to do with that, and I can figure out how I can help you with it. All right, so that's nice. Then what you can do is pick off one of them, and that will be for our ribbon to go behind. So we'll have that waiting. And we're going to do a loop, a loop, a little bit bigger loop, and then have the tail come down like that. Hello, Julie Bierschbach. So Julie, you guys, if you don't know Julie, she does her classes here. She does the Be Creative classes here in the Hive. She also does them from her house. So if you're local to me and you're in the Chilton area, you could definitely do classes with Julie in Chilton, or you could do them here at the Hive. And I love it how she chose the name of her class series to be called Be Creative with 2 E's. All right, so we've got that situated. We're coming back to these yet, but I keep bouncing around. I'm gonna grab some little dimensionals. And I like to put the dimensionals also here where the corners meet to help provide a little bit more stability with the frame itself, not falling apart then. And one more right there. Get a Sharpie. Yes, that's what I'm working on. I just didn't want to stand up quite yet. I'm getting it. Don't you worry. I'm working on everything else besides it. All right. We'll come back to them. So then this gets put right onto our, you have to be careful because when you open this card, you can't have anything that goes past that side. So just be careful not to have it over the fold. It pretty much fits in between really nicely. And just make sure you get it straight. There you go. All right, then this guy is going to have a dimensional right there. And you could put a little bit of liquid glue on the other side. We'll have that staged, and this too can't be past the fold. And you want to see a little bit of that yellow hanging out. So right there, it looks good. Okay, so we're staged and ready to go. We're gonna do the little bit of coloring on these. So if this happens to you guys at home too, which I'm sure it will, depending on what kind of an ink pad you have, you might end up with a fading bee. And we don't like to have a fading bee. And you can kind of see what I mean here. So grab your black Stampin' Write marker, grab a blend, grab a Sharpie. And if you don't have these stamps and you got this class with me, you could also draw in your lines with a pencil. You could draw the outline in a pencil, and then you could color it in with a black marker. But if you draw it in with a pencil, then you know how to stay in between the lines. So there, it's just making it a little bit crisper and darker. We're gonna get a little baby butt here. I try not to get too close to the edge because I don't want to go outside of it accidentally. Perfect. And a good fine tip marker is going to be really your best bang for your buck on that. He's questionable, but now because I did that one, I feel like it would be best to go over it. There's a white fuzzy. All right, let's go from this side. It does make it nicer. If you guys have a if you had a MISTI or a Stamparatus, and if you set it up, if you're doing multiples of these, it would make sense to go back over it a second time. But I knew it would be too hard to stamp it a second time over the top. But that's basically what we've got here for this guy. Hello, Yvette Lopez. And you got the email. I'm thinking my best bet is to use your suggestion unless hubby decides to buy a new printer. Okay, perfect. Well, I will send you, so just know I'll send you a link so that you can register for it because I'm keeping a list on a Google form. And if you decide by, let's say May 6th that you don't want it, then that can work too. We can always take you off the list. How does that sound? So don't worry if your tear and tape goes over where you put it on, you can just roll it back. And Yvette says she uses her black Versa ink pad instead of the Memento because of that. Good idea. So now you can capture your wings here for your mom. And then you can capture your wings for your baby. Nice. And then grab those black dimensional fits right in between right there. Perfect. And then we'll put a few more on these guys. We'll flip that over so it's ready for gluing. And now, the way that this mom is set up, she's going to be covering up basically this edge here. And if it's too long, I didn't glue all the way to the edge. I could just take and snip off a little bit in case you have a little bit longer. You could always move your bee over a little bit, but we're gonna put that right about here. And then our wee widow one. Oh, he's so adorable. He's adorbsy. Okay, and then we got a little liquid glue here. And that will go on the inside. So because I didn't go too far over the edge with that flap, it allowed for this arm to open up very nicely. And so there's pink cloths in the tops of your cans, and that's why we opted to do the pink gems on this one actually. And there's a cute little gem that fits right in the middle of the heart. And I just happen to have it over here, and I thought, oh man, it fits right there too. So hopefully you could do that. And otherwise there's a heart up there, you could put it in too. And I'll put that gem there, I think. And Stella-ing. So you could definitely Stella. Oh, I just Stella your jars. Get them a little shimmery. Oh man, I forgot you could open this up and do them all. Ha ha ha. Right? Hee hee hee. All right, that's card number 2, numero dos. Such a cutie patootie one. Oh, they're so fun. Like, they're so happy. Get it? Hap, B-E-E. Happy bees. All right, so we've got 2 done, you guys. These are what we have so far. And we've got this guy left. And I think this one requires you to work for it, if I'm not mistaken. I'll see when I open up the kit. Okay, so we've got the same concept that we got with the honeycomb, where we got to glue them together, and we've got a bee, we got a hello friend and some ribbon, and then our inside has a heart. If I only had a heart. All right, so your gems in this one are the Summer Splash ones. So what does that mean? It means we didn't use the peach pie and we didn't use the shy shamrock. So eventually, in the future, we're going to be doing a class with some of those. So this is actually your inside. Right, check that out, make sure it's nice. Okay, so that'll be our inside mat. We've got our big Papa Bee. We've got his wings. Hi, Sherry Stewart. We've got his wings. And then you've got your honeycomb and the outline. So we're going to put it like this. We'll glue that momentarily. Yes, you guys have a little work here. You did say you don't mind cutting. So this is the right width. It's the 3 and something, 3 5/8. This then is 4 inches. And what happens is you're going to have to cut it at 2 3/4, and then you end up with a gap. So it saved Karen Wetstein a cut, which she doesn't mind having a little bit easier of a cut, where she only had to cut it into basically a rectangle. Now, with your paper this way, which is the correct way, you need to turn it on its side, and you need to cut it 2 3/4. So find where your 2 3/4 is. Hopefully you guys find it correctly. And then that leaves 1 1/4 on the bottom. So you guys do need to make that cut for this, right? We were worried that if Karen cut all these, that they wouldn't stay paired up together. So by you cutting your own, it guaranteed, well, it gave us a lot better odds that you guys would keep them paired together and that we wouldn't incorrectly do that. Okay, so that's there. Now, you are going to be like, whoa, there's these things are cut out. Yes, we cut 2 of the bees and we cut a honeycomb out of each of those. So we're going to walk through the process of cutting or gluing this, because you're going to look at this and you're going to see, oh man, there's a gap here. But just know when you put this down that will cover up part of it, okay? So don't worry at the moment, okay? Don't overthink it right now. We're going to get there. You've got 2 pieces of the Daffodil Delight 1/8 inch ribbon. One is going to be for your tails going down, and then one is for it to tie onto it to make your knot. And the bottom is Pool Party. And you can go ahead and burnish that. And what you could do first is let's glue these 2 together, but you have to be careful in how you glue them. So I would definitely glue the top of the yellow mat. So by doing this, it keeps the weight of the card down, and it helps be a little conservative with your paper. And so what we're gonna do is, I already did the dry fitting and it seemed like it looked good to me. And if you need to trim a little bit of the purple, you still can before you put glue down. And don't worry about these holes, right? They're not going to really match up to anything. I mean, they're not going to be identical, right? Because they got cut at 2 different times. We don't want to glue this yet because we definitely need to get our ribbon behind. But what we can do is we can glue, we need to do a little stamping. So there is a hello friend on here. So before we get a little bit too into the weeds here, let's just set, I'm going to flip this upside down because I don't want to accidentally get ink on it. And let's set this one on here upside down too. So that gives us the window of where we need to stamp our hello friend. And before I do that, I want to show you. Let's just move this here. We're going to tape this together just because I want you guys to understand that, to not worry about that hole. I always forget to take advantage of cutting out the middle part of the cards. How do you remember to do that? Well, at this point, I think it's pretty much ingrained in my brain. And I do forget from time to time. But I will tell you, when we're designing for a month, we will do cross-cutting of paper too. So right now we're working, so let's see here. We are working on the catalog launch party at the same time as the May suite class and the May monthly class. And you will see when you get your May, if you guys get the May monthly with the sailboat card, you're gonna see that we cut some foliage out of the cloud cover mat. And you're gonna be like, well, that's not even part of my card. And I'm gonna be like, yep, because we, as much as we can cut out of mats, we will, just to help save a little paper, you guys. Especially starting on May 6th with the cost of paper going up from $11.50 to $14. Any little bit that you can save is definitely gonna help when it comes to designing and making your own cards. Now, I am putting this whole back with dimensionals. I'm not picking them off yet. And I do, well, I picked that one off apparently. We'll leave it, it'll be fine. But I do this middle section, I do want to double up, but I want to show you how this is going to sit on here. So this, if you're worried about that hole right there, this is going to sit right about here, right? So the widest part of your hexagon is going to go right here. So now that tells you how much room you have. And that hello friend you called, is it me you're looking for? It fits there. And I will tell you, keeping tabs is where we got it from. But keeping tabs is currently out of stock and gone for good. It was part of the last chance. And I did look before class. It is available in the French version. But you really were going to want this one for the words here in the States. So you'd want it to be in English. But the punch is still out there. All right, so now that we have this situated, we do want to get our black ink. And I'll tell you, I did get a little bit ahead of the game. I probably should have done my stamping before I glued it to my yellow mat. But that's neither here nor there. If you haven't put your cards together, just know that you should probably stamp your purple first. So I know I need to go right there. So I am going to move this away. Keep that kind of situated. And get my hello friend nicely covered. And I'm going to stamp it right about there. So it's closer to the bottom one, and it's more to the right. And whatever sentiment you do use, a hello would fit there really nice. There are a bunch of little baby hellos. That would be really good. I'm letting it marinate. I'm stamping on a darker purple paper here. And if I take my fingers away before it's really good and saturated and marinated, I might not be happy with it. So, yay! All right. Well, as long as we got the ink open, let's do our B. To be or not to be. And to be is the question. Let's see if I can get this one a little bit better than the last one. So, get your little tail inked up good, all the stripies. Okay. These, yeah, they're so bright and cheerful. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Okay. Oh, see, that's much better. All right, I ended up using, well, I have the other face out. So let's do the other face for this one. He's a happy bee. Nice. And on the inside, we have a heart. If I only had a heart. Well, it's good because I do have a heart. And we're going to stamp it in the petunia. The petunias that pop. So is anybody else going? So there's a demonstrator Stampin' Up! Event down in Hobart, Indiana on May something, May 3rd, 4th, what is it? Next month, 2nd, May 2nd. Is anybody else going? I'm curious if I will see anybody there. I'm gonna put a heart right here. Oh, alrighty, that's good. And I think that's good here. I don't know, I was trying to find somebody from the Fox Valley area that wants to go. So, let's see. That is all popped up. So, all right, that's good to know. So we're gonna use dimensionals here. I popped up this designer paper. And this one as well. I'm curious who I'm all gonna see there. Oh, I hear a kitten. Right there, and that should be enough. Okay, let's pick these all off. Perfect. Randy, you're going in May. Oh, so Randy, I'll get to see you then. Wonderful. Yeah, that's probably pretty close for you. I think I have a 3.5 hour drive. Is yours about, what I would guess, 2.5 maybe for you? All right, so then I'm gonna flip this over. Oh, do you see what just happened here? I put the dimensional right in the middle, so it's possible that it's gonna stick to my glass mat, but that's okay. It'll be able to pull up just fine. All right, so that's, oh, see? Haha. One moment, please. You can put your silicone mat underneath there. All right, very nice. So, we also need some tear and tape. Oh, Pat said I had to cancel for Hobart. Oh, Pat, that's sad. Not good. Oh, I see a bigger Tigger. All right, that yellow ribbon is going to go with its tails behind the back here. And you can do is flip this up. You could take that other one and put it up and down like this just to stage it, right? Get it right there. And then this other one goes, ooh, I didn't take that into account. I forgot that the yellow ribbon is right there. So I stamped my hello friend as low as I could without being covered up. So reminder, stamp your hello friend a little bit higher if you can. That would probably be helpful. All right, so now that we've got our tails behind here, we can go ahead and now glue this onto the card base. And I think I'll add, whoa, dominoes. I'm going to add another one right here for good measure so it doesn't want to pop down on me. And then this goes onto the, I got a glue dot. I'm going to set it right there. This goes right under the pool party. So now this, doing the pool party, it brings out the wings on this designer paper, which was what we were going for. Okay, then this one is going to get pulled back. I'm gonna leave this off to the side for right now. So this thing, let's pick these all off, and then we're gonna find which ones are gonna be in the channel here. And we'll double those up because this is flat and then this is popped up. So we go like this. It's gonna hang out right there. And so this one right here is gonna need, put a second one right there. So it's like a double stuff. Now remember, you gotta cover up the hole. So when you lay this down here, make sure that you don't have any open spot right there. And you can't go past this peak with the edge of the card. So just be strategic about that. And then this, we have that all staged. What we can do now is tie this into an overhand knot. And that will be right on the side here then. I'll trim those tails when we get done. It will be great to see you. It is about, oh, only 1.5 hours for you. Nice. Very good. All right. I think we just need this across the back. And that we'll use to get our wings attached. And then we can pop that up with dimensionals. And then the little black one fits right in the middle of the wings. He takes the whole hexagon. He's our big boy. And now I can trim these tails. And then the blue gems go nice with this. So these are the Summer Splash gems. So cool that they had the in colors with this one, and put one right there. Again, the only thing I would have tried to do if I would remember, I forgot about the yellow ribbon going right there. I would have stamped the Hello Friend maybe just a little that way. And we've got our heart stamped. And then this card is good for anything. You could stamp whatever sentiment you want on the inside. How did you come up with the name Be Happy Stampers? This is a perfect card. Yeah, so I was sitting in the car with my mom. We were driving somewhere on a vacation at some point, and I think it was in the year 2016. If I had to guess, we were driving either to Michigan or down to North Carolina. We were on a mother-daughter trip, and I know we were driving somewhere. And maybe it was just as far, I just remember we were in the car. And I was telling my mom that I really wanted to work my business and I really wanted to develop a team and grow a team and give other people if I love what I'm doing so much, I want to share that love with other people. And I was trying to think of a team name, and my mom and I were just talking, and I like bees. I do like bees a lot. And I don't like when they sting me, but I like bees. It was turtles. I love owls. There were different things that I really love, but what happened was I think one of us said out loud, be happy. And I'm like, well, I love being happy. Like, I love to share happiness with others. I love bringing happiness as much as I can. I can't make everybody happy all the time. I get that. You'll always have a negative Nancy or a negative Nellie or a negative somebody always in the mix, right? But I can do my best, my very, very best. That's all I can do. And so all of a sudden we were talking, and all of a sudden Be Happy Stampers came up. And that's it. So 2016 is when I named the team. So that's going on 10 years already. So I joined Stampin' Up! In 2013. And so it took about 3 years before I decided I wanted more. And then it became the Be Happy Stampers. And then it just grew. My cousin Kelly, who helps me with all my marketing stuff, she came up with, it's so much fun to do bee-inspired stuff. And there's a lot of bee stuff out there. So it worked out really good that we had the Be Happy Stampers. I know there are other demonstrators out there that use the bee theme too, and they have different names. I think that one is Be Creative, it's BE, and she didn't capitalize on the B. I was so sad. I'm like, you should have BEE Creative, right? Be Creative Stampers, I think she has. And it was really funny, and on stage, her team wore yellow shirts too. And they happened to sit right next to our group in the row right in front of our group. And so there were four rows of yellow, bright yellow shirts, like Daffodil Delight shirts. It was so cool. So we took over the back. But yay. All right. So we did it, you guys. We got all 3 done. Lickety split. And very cool. Very bright, cheerful. You got to be careful when you're cleaning these little faces in your chamois. If you go back and forth, it has a tendency of wanting to fly. So you might just blot those versus going back and forth, because otherwise it might fly through the air with the greatest of ease. So we did it. It's perfect because you're always upbeat. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I do make people happy. Well, good. I'm glad. I try my darndest. I try to bring positivity and joy to others. And I just clean these out, you guys. Just let me know what you like. And again, I don't at this moment have any left, and I'll make sure that Pat Settle will make sure that you're squared away for a set of cards. If it wasn't in your mix, you can definitely figure that out. You guys, we have mystery card night in about, what is it? It's 4:30, so in an hour and a half we have mystery card night. So I've got a lot to do between now and then. I'm going to go to try finish the catalog launch party cards so I can show them off to you tonight. And I'm also going to pull my pieces for mystery card night. Jolene surprises me with the clues, and then I get to make a card without necessarily knowing what I'm going to make. So I'm going to go get my pieces of paper ready. I almost thought it was a misprint on their shirts. Yeah, I did too. I was like, oh man, why wouldn't they have a second? I wanted to take a marker and draw an E on their shirt. So they had two. I'm in the middle of trying to determine if I want to make Stampin' Up! A business. I am not so outgoing and scared to do the videos. Oh no, Yvette. So I will tell you though, so Sherry said all of them, Deb loves all of them. I will say you don't have to do videos, but if you do videos, you don't have to show your face. I think what you come to find out is people are there to see what you're making and creating. And once you start to see that you make a difference in other people's lives and that you inspire and help people be creative, that you stop being so scared, right? So I'm sure I was scared and nervous in the beginning too when I first started. And I think every one that you do, every live that you do just gets better and better. And then all of a sudden becomes second nature, right? So people ask me, do I enjoy in person or do I enjoy online better? Which one do I enjoy? And it just depends on what's going on and how tired I am. I'll tell you, when I have a live with you guys, even if I'm tired, the great thing about it is when I'm done, I'm like, I can go in the house and I can just take 10 minutes or 5 minutes, where if I have people here, it's harder. And if I'm tired, because you don't ever want to let on to that you're tired, right? And so people might stay longer and longer, and because people come here for their happiness, right? They come here for their joy and their creativity. And so it's always harder to do things in person, but if you have enough sleep and you have enough energy, either one works, right? So it's just a horse apiece, right? I love both. I love the social aspect of both in person and online, because with you guys online, even though you're not in the room with me, you're here in the room with me, because I feel like I can communicate and talk to everybody that is messaging me, right? It's your time to interact with me. And when I'm in person, I get that fulfillment as well. So it's all good. All right, you guys like the cards. Great. Thanks for sharing. I get to leave all the stamps out on blocks because Diana's going to be doing this class in person tomorrow night. And I will also touch base with her to see how many people she has signed up and see if there's any kits. But if there are kits left for this class, you'll find them listed in the past classes section of the resources link of my website. If there aren't, you won't see it. So that's how I guess what we're going to have to go with this route. If there is one left, then it's definitely Pat Settles. And if there isn't, or if there aren't any left, then Pat Settle will still get one because I'll make one up. But I'm going to definitely figure out, Pat, what's going on with yours. And Diane might only have 7 or 6 people signed up too. So I'm not worried. We'll figure it out. I'm highly thinking like there aren't any extra kits that I have to get made up. So it's all good. When I was working, I did monthly Wednesday wellness classes, but they were for coworkers, so it made it easy. Well, I'll tell you, when you get people start watching you and they start showing up for your lives, they become your friends and they become your close allies as well, and it's just like having coworkers that know and love you. So it just takes time. It's one of those things that if it doesn't, and that's just another thing, if it doesn't work, you don't have to keep doing it. So at least you can say you tried. So all right, I did not pull any cards for the drawing, but for the class cards that I have from the past. I'll have to make up some. I got some here. I just didn't pull them out and get the names, but I do have a bunch of people that place an order to get this class for free. And those people are, how many do I have? Not as many. A lot of people, I'll tell you, a lot of people get the classes at either with their loyalty or with paying for them. The orders I had were 3, there was only 4. 4 people placed orders to get this class for free. The rest either paid for it or got it part of their loyalty or didn't place an order for it, let's just say. So let's go and put 4 in our random number generator. And I'll drop down so you guys can see. I'm going to click generate. And it's number 1. Number 1 is Sue Esworthy. Yay, Sue. This might be your first door prize, which would be awesome sauce. So good. All right, you guys. Well, I'm not going to keep chatting, right? I have some work to do. I want to get those cards made, and I want to get my stuff prepped for Mystery Card Night, and I got to get the clues printed off. So I'll be back live with you in an hour and 20 minutes. So there's a lot of water that needs to flow under the bridge between now and then. So we'll see you back here in a little bit. You guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. We'll see you soon. Love ya. Bye.